So good afternoon and a warm welcome to the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. For those who don't know me, I'm Sabine Schmidtke, the permanent faculty at the School of Historical Studies representing Near Eastern Studies. It is a pleasure for me to introduce the four panelists of today's webinar. All four are in fact principal investigators of the 6-year ERC-funded Synergy Grant project entitled The European Qur'an, Islamic Scripture in European Culture and Religion, 1150 to 850. The project aims to analyze the ways in which the Islamic Holy Book is embedded in the intellectual, religious, and cultural history of medieval and early modern Europe, focusing on questions how the Quran has been translated, interpreted, adapted, and used by Christians, European Jews, free thinkers, atheists, and European Muslims in order to evaluate the role of the Muslim Holy Book in both culture and religion in Europe. The project is built on the conviction that the Quran has played an important role in the formation of early modern European religious diversity and identity and continues to do so. It speaks of the European Quran to emphasize the significant role of the Muslim Holy Book in various intellectual and cultural debates that took place in different parts of Europe, from Iberia to Hungary, over the course of the Middle Ages and early modern period. So our four speakers of today are first John Tolan, professor at the Université de Nantes, who works on the history of religious and cultural relations between the Arab and Latin worlds in the Middle Ages, and on the history of religious interaction and conflict between Jews, Christians, and Muslims. John is the author of numerous articles and books in medieval history and cultural studies, including Sons of Ishmael, Muslims Through European Eyes in the Middle Ages, 2008, and San Francis and the Sultan, The Curious History of a Christian-Muslim Encounter of 2009. Mercedes Garcia Arenal, the PI coordinator of the project and professor at the Spanish Council of Scientific Research in Madrid, is a cultural and religious historian dedicated to contacts and interactions among Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Her research focuses mainly on Muslim minorities in Christian Iberia, as well as converted Jews and Jews in Islamic lands. Roberto Tottoli, professor of Islamic Studies at the Università di Napoli di Orientale and fellow of the Accademia Nazionale dei Lincei, has mainly worked and published on Islamic traditions, and in particular in biblical tradition in early literature. And by the way, both Roberto and Mercedes were also members of the IAS a few years ago. Jan Loeb, professor of early modern history and religious cultures at the University of Copenhagen and a senior research fellow at NYU Abu Dhabi, is the author of Johann Heinrich Hottinger, Arabic and Islamic Studies in the 17th Century, 2013, and is the editor of a number of books, including The Teaching and Learning of Arabic in Early Modern Europe, which came out in 2017. Now, all four panelists will speak for about 60 minutes, which will leave us some 30 minutes for discussion in the end. And the audience, kindly type your questions and comments by using the chat function, addressing the panelists and the attendees if you want everyone to read it, either during or after the presentation. Kindly don't use the raise hand because we are too many people to pay attention to this. And now, without further ado, I pass the floor to John, our first speaker.